Good Sunday evening, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Danger Zone. Yes, it's been a while. It's been about 4 weeks to be exact. But we are back in the house tonight to discuss Brian Callahan and the Tennessee Titans, all the action around the NFL in week 6, and what is the future of Will Levis and the rest of the Titans. Or we're going to look at the Texans, the Cowboys, and everyone else around the NFL. All of that and more coming up next on the Danger Zone.
You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone.
Good Sunday evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Danger Zone. I am your host, Ken Moore. I hopefully will be joined by my partner, Floyd B, momentarily. But in the meanwhile, we definitely want to welcome you back to the Danger Zone. It's been a while since we've been on, about 4 weeks to be exact. My schedule, as most of you know, gets pretty hectic during football season, as I'm covering college football for ESPN, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, as well as Conference USA. So I've been pretty much been on the go, for the past month or so, in and out of town with various games. This past weekend had a great game down at Grambling with Grambling and Alcorn State. Last week at the Texas State Fair, we had Prairie View and Grambling as well. So you can still catch those games on the ESPN app in case you're interested in viewing some great college football with your boy. So without further ado, let's get to some housekeeping duties here this evening. First and foremost, if you are new to the show, we would like to invite you to subscribe to the show. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell. So whenever we do have a show, you guys can be notified in advance and you can make your way on in to participate with us. Week 6 of the NFL season was something to behold. Throughout most of the season, the underdogs have been hitting at a high rate. A lot of upsets week in and week out. Not so much today. Most of the favorites won their ball games today. Maybe not all of them covered, but most of them did win. One of the favorites who did not win were the Tennessee Titans, who were favored by 2.5 points over the Indianapolis Colts. And I have a lot to get off my chest here tonight. And I see my boy Floyd has joined the party, so we'll bring him in momentarily. But a lot to get off my chest in regards to the Tennessee Titans and their performance this afternoon, coming off a bye week against the Indianapolis Colts, who came in with one of the worst defenses in the NFL, came in all beat up, a lot of players injured, the starting quarterback out, starting running back out, and Jonathan Taylor. One of their starting guards was out. They just got their center back. And what do? They come into Nissan Stadium. A lot of empty seats in Nissan Stadium, by the way. Where were the fans at this afternoon? A lot of fans dressed up in red, I guess, in that second level, because I saw a lot of red on my television screen today. But anyway, fans got to get out and show their support for this ball club. But I understand why not after seeing that performance today. I got a lot of people on Tennessee that's going to go into the danger zone tonight. A lot of people that's going to go into the danger zone. First and foremost is the head coach, Brian Callahan, excuse me. He has to go in the danger zone. You had 2 weeks to prepare for one of the worst defenses in the NFL, and you come out and your first 3 plays, your first drive of this ball game is running play to Tony Pollard, who picked up 7 or 8 yards on first down, and then you throw 2 passes behind the line of scrimmage. And that pretty much told me all I needed to know about how this ball game was going to go. Because what you showed me, Brian Callahan, today is that you don't believe in your quarterback as much as you say you do. You do not believe in your quarterback. You are either ill-prepared to put together a game plan, or you're so afraid of your quarterback that tries to limit his mistakes. It's one of the two, because there's no way you can go into a bye week, come out of a bye week with the game plan that the Tennessee Titans had today. Most of the passes were at or behind the line of scrimmage. It was a run-heavy attack. There's no problem trying to establish the running game. But once you establish the running game, that's when you should be able to go to your play-action pass and go after these cornerbacks for the Indianapolis Colts, who have struggled the entire season in Gus Bradley's system. Most Indianapolis Colts fans have been ready to fire their defensive coordinator for the game plans that he's implemented so far this season. They talked about it a lot on the broadcast today. A bend but don't break defense for the Colts, where they've been bending and breaking the entire year until this afternoon. So he starts off the game with a poor game plan, a poor sense of attack, and then he ends the game the exact same way. You're down by 3 points. The Colts have been going up and down the field on your defense in the second half. You have a 4th down, a 4th and 6, 4th and 7, I believe. 2 minutes and 26 seconds left to go in the ball game, and you decide to punt the football back to the Colts, knowing that you only have 2 timeouts because you wasted a timeout earlier in the half on a challenge on a play that should have never been challenged. So you only have 2 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. So basically, if the Colts get 1 first down, the game is virtually over at that point. That's something that Mike Vrabel was heavily criticized for playing way too conservative when the game was on the line. Way too conservative when the game was on the line. If we wanted a coach that was going to punt with 2 minutes to go in the game and you trail it in the ball game, we could have kept Mike Vrabel, because that's what he did against the Baltimore Ravens in a playoff game. trailing by 4 points late in the game in Ravens territory, and he punched the football back to him. You're a 1-4 football team, 1-3 coming into today. You have to take chances. You have to allow this team to grow. And if you fail being aggressive, damn it, so be it. You fail being aggressive. But you can't fail being scared. And that's how the Tennessee Titans played today. That's how Brian Callahan coached today. And it seems like that's the type of culture that he's put into this organization. Play scared. Play not to lose. Coach not to lose. Haven't seen anything aggressive from him in the 5 weeks, in the 5 games that he's been the head coach of this team. So he is the first person to go in the danger zone tonight. Head coach Brian Callahan.
You're in the danger zone.
With that being said, let me bring in my partner, Floyd B. Boy, what's going on, man? Happy Sunday to you. Glad to be back on the air with you, my friend.
And happy Sunday to you, bro. Happy Sunday to you, brother, man. It's been a long time, man. It's been too long, man. It's been too long. I was kind of backstage.
In the words of your boy, Rakim, it's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you.
Oh. Long.
My boy Anthony Hayes in the building. Anthony, thank you for joining the show tonight, my brother. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Say, bro, Callahan is not a head coach. I pick on this the first game. His play calling is super trash. And you know what, Anthony, my man? He didn't call plays at Cincinnati with the Bengals. Zach Taylor, the head coach, called plays in Cincinnati. Now, it's curious to me how the offensive coordinator at Kansas City, names just went blank, couldn't get a head coaching job because everybody said, oh, he didn't call plays for Andy Reid. So we don't know what he's going to be as a play caller if he gets a head coaching job. Well, the Titans roll the dice on Brian Callahan. They roll the dice on Brian Callahan. And his play calling, his game organization is trash. He may need to turn over his play calling duties to his offensive coordinator. I don't even know who the offensive coordinator is for the Titans. I don't even know. But whoever it is, Brian Callahan may need to turn over those play calling duties to him until he can get a grasp on being a head coach in this league. Because he has been an outright disaster through 5 games of this season. In 5 very winnable games. The reason why, and I go back to it, and Florida back me up once he gets back on, he's having some equipment issues. I picked the Titans to go 9-8 this season. Part of my reason for picking the Titans to go 9-8 this season, I'm like, okay, Rand Callahan, he went and got all these free agents. We got a pretty good defense. As long as the offense can be competent, there are a lot of winnable games on this schedule. The beginning of this season set up perfectly for the Tennessee Titans, even before the rash of injuries to other ball clubs took place. You had the Bears out the gate, rookie quarterback, Caleb Williams, his very first game. We know rookie quarterbacks don't play well in their first game. That was a winnable game. Titans had that game in control. Will Levis throws it away. Same thing with the Jets in week 2. Jets still trying to get their footing. They had a Monday night game the week before against San Francisco. They come into Nissan Stadium. They looking sluggish. Titans had a chance to take, I believe, had a 10-0 lead, had a chance to score 10-0. Will Levis throws that game away. Next week, Jordan Love is hurt. You mark that as an L when the schedule came out, but you say, oh, Jordan Love is hurt. Malik Willis is playing quarterback in Green Bay. Hey, we know Malik Willis. He's not a good quarterback. With our defense, we should be able to go up there and hold them to, I don't know, 13 points. Get the victory. That was a winnable game. You got lucky again in Miami. Tua's out. You were able to go in and win that game. The only reason we won that game is because Will Levis got hurt, because we probably would have lost that game. But Mason Rudolph was able to go in, and we was able to steal that victory. Then you have a bye week. You got the Colts coming in. They're all beat up, whole bunch of injuries. One of the worst defenses in the league. Just lost to Jacksonville. Shane Steichen not showing that he's a great head coach either. He's struggling. And you find a way to lose this game again today. You find a way to lose this game, here today. But it's not just Brian Callahan. And we'll get to Will Levis. But here's my question, and I'm out on Will Levis. He's done as a quarterback. The Titans will have a brand new quarterback beginning next season, whether that's Shedeur Sanders or Quinn Ewers or Cam Ward or Carson Beck or whoever it may be. The Titans will have a brand new quarterback to begin 2025 season. They'll have a brand new quarterback. But I have a question. Is this all Will Levis's fault? I don't remember Will Levis looking this bad last year with Mike Vrabel and Tim Kelly. Now, he didn't look good last year, but he gave you hope. He gave you hope that if you got the right offensive coach and you got the right coaching staff around him, that maybe they could get the good out of him. They could elevate his ceiling if he got with the right coaching staff. Maybe this staff isn't what we thought it was going to be. Maybe Brian Callahan is not the guy that we thought, that we were led to believe that he was. Because there's no way Will Levis should have regressed this much coming from playing with Mike Vrabel and Tim Kelly. But he's gone all the way back on the Brian Callahan. So maybe his system is too confusing. Maybe it's not clear. Maybe the message is cloudy. I don't know. My boy Anthony said he had Derrick Henry back there. He did have Derrick Henry back there. That's true. That's true. But Tony Pollard hadn't been a slouch so far this year. Tony Pollard's been pretty decent. And I didn't even agree with the Tony Pollard signing, but I was wrong on that. He's the one signing that's actually worked out so far this year, because Calvin Ridley, and we'll get to him in a moment. Floyd looks like he's back in. Calvin Ridley, that looked like it's not working out for whatever reason, and we may have to go to Brian Callahan on that, although I wasn't a fan of the Calvin Ridley signing. I was in a wait-and-see mode on that. But it has just been an utter, complete failure as far as what this coaching staff has done through the first 5 games of this season. Welcome back, my brother. You got your difficulties. Can you hear me, Floyd?
Yes, sir. I can hear you. I'm sorry about the problem, man. Had company over.
All right.
Okay.
All right. You're on live, my man. You're on live. So you may have heard a little bit of what I had to say about about the Titans and Brian Callahan going in the danger zone. And I know your attention was elsewhere today, looking at the Texans and the Patriots and whatnot. So I don't know how much of this game you caught or any of the highlights or whatnot. But, man, look, I'm starting to question how much of this can I put on Will Levis, where the slice of the pie lies. Because people have been putting 90% of the pie on Will Levis. And I'm starting to shift some of that pie over to Brian Callahan.
I was backstage a couple of times before I got blanked out, and I heard you venting, and I heard your agony, I heard your pain, I heard your complaints. As far as the Tennessee Titans is concerned this season, hey man, the defense has played well enough to keep the team in games. Defense has played well enough to keep teams in games. Other than I think the last game they had where they just was just on the field too much. The problem with the Tennessee Titans stars in the quarterback position. Unfortunately, you can point the finger. You can put, first year head coach and all that and what's not. But at the end of the day, if you don't have consistent quarterback play or know exactly what you're getting from your quarterback, and look like we have a little difficulties, family and friends.
Go ahead.
But as soon as I can get my brother back, we can continue talking. I heard him also saying about he wasn't pleased about the Calvin Ridley signing. He wanted to wait. But if you sit there and wait, you would have wound up probably with no one. Now, granted, I think your wide receiver play has a lot to do, has everything throughout this game. And I just never really saw enough highlights to say that any team really had it all the way to the end. So more than likely you're adequate and right about what you're saying the play call, because the game never was out of hand for neither one of the teams. And sometimes it goes down to coaching for some part and quarterback play, man. Your defense, man, it reminds me of some of the old Jets teams that had the last 3 or 4 years pretty good defensive play, man. You can't get enough offensively to win games. You can stay in a lot of games, but being able to win games. So I wouldn't be so frustrated right now at the way the Titans are going, but it's real simple, big bro. You having problems at the quarterback position. Before you can even evaluate your coach, you got to see what you got at the quarterback position. He's an offensive guy. Let's see again, man. I seen Tony Pollard, what it was, 20 carries, 90 yards, 20 carries, 88 yards. When you look at it, you can say that he's having a pretty good game. But you know how I am, big bro. I want to know how he got those 84 yards. When did he get those 84 yards? Was it a momentum? Did it change? Did it move the sticks? What did those 84, 85 yards equal up to? He's had, I didn't like the signing, just like you didn't like the Pollard signing. But if you're looking at just numbers alone, he has been productive.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's actually been the one guy. He's actually been the one guy of the signings who's worked out. He's been very productive when he's been carrying the rock. And he had the big touchdown to give us the lead in the third quarter, go up 17-10. And the defense let him come right back down the field, get a field goal, make it 17-13. Then we get the ball back. We run Pollard three straight times into the line, playing very conservative, only with a 4-point lead early in the fourth quarter, knowing that your defense just was on the field for an 8-minute drive. You run the ball 3 straight times into the line of scrimmage, and you got to punt the ball right back to the Colts. And again, they go right back down the field and take the lead. That's coaching. That's all coaching. But here's my concern. And I'm not a Will Levis guy.
Yes, yeah.
I'm not a Will Levis guy, but here's my concern. Here's what I said, I think, when you were in here. Last year, when Will Levis was playing, he played well enough where you said, okay, we see something in him. If he gets with the right coaching staff, they may be able to pull it out of him and raise his ceiling of success. Raise his ceiling, because you knew it was going to be limited with Mike Vrabel and Tim Kelly. They were only going to be able to get so much out of it, right? So you bring in an offensive coach, but instead of him getting better or even staying status quo, he has gotten significantly worse. Rarely do you see that with a young quarterback that gets significantly worse with an offensive coach. You look at Tua. Hold on. Look at how Tua got better with Mike McDaniel. Look how Jordan Love is getting better with Matt LaFleur. And Daniel Jones was a veteran, though. You brought up Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is not a young quarterback anymore. He wasn't a young quarterback. Huh?
Matt Jones.
Who is Matt Jones?
You said rather do a young quarterback come in the league and get with an offensive minded guy and his play decrease. I said Matt Jones was one. His first year under Josh McDaniels, I think they went to the playoffs his rookie year, and from that point on, everything kind of declined. From Matt Jones. But granted, though, he did lose.
He lost Josh McDaniels, and Bill Belichick brought in
I was just going to say that
coach to be the offensive coordinator. Yeah. That was Mac Jones' problem. That wasn't on Mac Jones. That was on the Patriots.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. Man, he did lose Josh McDaniel after his rookie year. He did. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Hey, man. Yeah. You know, today, I'm not gonna blame the loss on the player, because at the end of the day, they're the one on the field. But I do believe that Callahan is still learning as a head coach, and you determine a head coach basically in situational positions, in situational football, man. You know how you handle the time clock. When you get in the 4-minute drill,
situational terrible, Floyd. He's been terrible.
Kind of separate.
He's been terrible. He was terrible at the end of the half. Let me tell you what he did at the end of the first half. End of the first half. Coach got the ball. We have one timeout. We're on defense. Coach driving down. They trying to get in, I forget what the score. It was 10-7. It was 10-7 game. Coach driving down there in field goal range. They trying to get in for a touchdown. Right? We got one timeout.
They get a field
First down. They run a play. They get a penalty. There's no 10-second runoff. Coach say, now let's just keep the clock running, because they trying to run the clock down to get a last-second field goal. Well, you still got a couple of timeouts. Brian Callahan, you need to use your timeouts on defense so that it allows your offense. The Colts are going to score. They're either going to score a touchdown or a field goal. They're going to score one or the other. You have to use your timeouts on defense so that you'll have at least time to try to come back and score before halftime. Did he use his timeouts? No. Eventually, what happened? The Colts ended up kicking a field goal with 20 seconds left in the half. You get the ball back with 20 seconds, and you still got one timeout, and you take a knee. So you take that timeout to the locker room. You could have used that timeout on defense, save 40 seconds. So instead of having 20 seconds when you got the ball back, you would have had 55 seconds to a minute when you got the ball back. no timeouts. But if you're a good play caller and you trust your quarterback, you should trust your quarterback to get the ball back at the 30-yard line if they kick it into the end zone and go 40 yards and get in field goal range in a minute. But you take that timeout into the locker room. Situational football.
Situational coaching. That's on him. The game today, based on the little I seen and everything that I heard from you, my brother, it fall back to situational coaching. And that's on him. Today game is on him. But I don't think the losses that the Titans has accumulated in the early part of the season is all on Callahan. A lot of that goes on quarterback play as well, big bro. But today you're right. And if you put his ass in the danger zone, I'm with you. If you put him in the danger zone, I'm with you because of situational coaching. And that's how he kind of lost the game today.
Yeah, he definitely in the danger zone. And yes, the first two games were on Will Levis. That Green Bay game, that's on Callahan. Because you got Malik Willis on the other side, and you should know Malik Willis more than anybody else. So these last two games are on Brian Callahan. But here's the problem.
Yeah,
now, this
well, not him. The organization itself may understand Will Levis, but not him. But not. I mean, you said Malik Willis, but not Callahan. Callahan wouldn't know Malik Willis. Well, a little bit, because he had him in training camp. He had him in training camp. He had him in training camp.
More than Matt
That's it. He had him in training camp, and they cut him. Maybe.
So here's the problem. Here's the problem. So now you're 1-4. You've gone through the easy part of your schedule. Here's the rest of your schedule. Starting next week. You don't have no more bye weeks. You at Buffalo. Now, Buffalo played. They play today?
The Jets tomorrow.
They play tomorrow night.
Play the Jets tomorrow.
You got Buffalo in Buffalo. That's a loss. You go to Detroit. That's going to be an embarrassment. You get the Patriots at home. Drake May will have 3 or 4 games under his belt by that time. You couldn't beat Malik Willis. I don't know that you can beat Drake May. You go to the Chargers, Jim Harbaugh. They look pretty good today, I believe. Beat the crap out of Denver. Then you come home and play the Minnesota Vikings and Brian Flores. You know what Brian Flores is going to do to Brian Callahan and Will Levis? Titans probably won't get 100 yards total offense in that game. Then you go to Houston to play the Texans. You know what's going to happen now. Then you go to the Commanders and play that boy Jalen Daniels. All of a sudden, that's a playoff team. That's an L. Now you get the Jaguars at home, you make them beat the Jaguars. You get Cincinnati at home. Cincinnati, they may have their stuff right by then. You go to Indy, you go to Jacksonville, and you finish at home against Tennessee or against Houston. You looking at a 2-15, 3-14 season.
It kind of goes back to what I was saying. It kind of go back to what we was predicting early in our preseason picks. And I said by the time we play the Titans the first time, I think it's week 12, you'll be well beyond out of playoff contention. And you might
you was right, boy.
Something out of Will Levis at that part of the season, man. I called this. Yeah, I call Vabel regime still as far as players, and when you switching like that, then you don't have a quarterback for sure. It's gonna be rough for you out the gates, man. They gambled on Levis, and he showed enough, like you say, he showed enough, man, to say, man, let's give him a shot, man. Let's give him a shot. But again, man, we've been gone away from the air for so long, and man, our friends and fans and things have missed us, man. And I would hate to bore them sitting up here giving a whole episode, hour to the Tennessee Titans. They're trash.
Hey, that's what's going to happen today.
That's where they are right now. And you need to put up the danger zone one more time.
That's what's going on. Now I got a few more that's got to go in the danger zone for the Titans. There's a few more before we get to. We don't get to the rest of the NFL.
Listen, if you look at it, yeah, we definitely, man. But let's gradually move.
You're breaking up a little bit. You're breaking up a little
down
bit.
The AFC South, and we can kind of see Jacksonville went over there and laid an egg. There's a possibility that Doug Peterson don't even make it back to the United States. You know, the Jacksonville Jaguar may make him pay for it there. Chicago. Can you hear me now?
I'm gonna let Floyd get it. I'm gonna let Floyd get his mic straight there. Hold on a second. One second, big bro. Get your mic straight there. While you get his mic straight, and we're gonna get into the Texans and the Jags in a minute. I got a couple of more people that got to go in the danger zone with Tennessee Titans before we get off Titans. Traylon Burks. Man, look. This guy's I'm not going to use that gentleman because he's had a lot of personal tragedies, so I'm not going to even use him. Traylon Burks caught one pass today. It was a big pass. It was a third down pass that got a first down. Picked up about 10, 12 yards. Barely got hit on the sideline, leaves the game with an injury. Keith Bullock, Mr. Monday Night. Y'all know him, Mr. Monday Night, number 53, former Tennessee Titan, Titans legend. Tweeted right after that, this dude catch one pass and barely gets touched and he hurt again. And Traylon Burks got to go, man. He got to go. I would just put him on IR and just let him go.
Punk, you're in the danger zone.
I would just go ahead and let me see if we got Floyd back now. I would just go ahead and put Traylon Burks. Go ahead and put him on IR. I don't care if he's healthy. Just put him on healthy IR. And hey man, I can't get your mic on. Are you muted? Can you hear me? Talk. Say so. I think Floyd might be frozen. All right. We're going to go back to the solo. What's y'all thoughts on Traylon Burks, man? I mean, this cat, you talk, and dude's in a contract year. I thought he was going to have a pretty good year this year. Another guy that's underperforming in this system, but I'm not going to put that one on Callahan. That's all on Traylon Burks. Somebody else they got to go in the danger zone. Tyjae Spears. Tyjae Spears has been a huge disappointment from what we were told that he was supposed to be. He was supposed to be the guy to replace Derrick Henry. Now, of course, nobody's going to replace Derrick Henry, but again, he was supposed to be the guy that's supposed to be, Tony Pollard's supposed to be the complementary piece. Tyjae Spears supposed to be the guy. He hadn't done anything this year, and now he's got a hamstring injury. L'Jarius Sneed, the big-time cornerback that's got a lot to say after every game about how he's challenging himself to play better and blah, 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 blah. Well, bro, you're not holding up your end of the contract either. Tyreek Hill beat you 2 or 3 times on that Monday night game. He just didn't have a quarterback to get him the ball. And today you let Alex Pierce beat you a couple of times downfield. One of them was overthrown late in the game. One of them got you for a PI. And then you let Michael Pittman, who came into the game hurt, out-jump you in the end zone for the game-winning touchdown. That's the thing you have to be careful about when you sign these high-priced free agents. Because these high-priced free agents, man, they don't always work out, man. They don't always work out. And when you get them on a team and the team start losing, those cats are looking forward to Tuesday when that direct deposit hit. Got my boy Titans and Truth in the house. What's going on, bro? Good to see you. Drew say, yeah, today Snead had a bad game. Steve in the house. What's up, Steve? He said, now Brownlee Jr. played well other than the PI penalty. Brownlee Jr., I love the way how Brownlee Jr. is looking. Brownlee Jr. is looking really, really good. Brownlee Jr. is looking really, really good. He did have that critical pass interference penalty. It was kind of a bang-bang play. But that was a tough one there. But all those guys going in the danger zone, man. Jarius Sneed, Traylon Burks, Tajay Spears, all those guys going in the danger zone. One thing
Absolutely.
About we didn't get a
back
today.
I'm back, baby. I'm on my phone, man. I had my daughter laptop. It's she go to school on it, so I had all types of stuff. So let me do this here today because we ain't did this in a long time. So I'm gonna do it from my phone today, big bro.
All right.
And I'm sorry, man. I apologize to everybody, man. And I know y'all kind of tired of him and his Titans and everything. I'm back now, y'all. I'm back. And we fit to move on from the Titans. Let me say one thing about the Ladarius Sneed, though. And I told you this. See, I don't like to be the one to get on and say I told you so. But I told you so. I said, look at here, man. These guys, not saying these guys are not worth the money or anything they getting, but man, football is all about coaching and scheming and where you fit and how you can do this and where you fit in and what's your strength is. It's not about, you look at what a high player was in a previous team and you kind of expect that same success. And a lot of times you're right, it don't work. Sometimes it comes through, but a lot of times it don't work. Let me give you an example. Danielle Hunter. The Houston Texans are at the lower bottom of the league in team sacks. And
what up, Tall Blue? What up, Phil?
And it can be a problem later on in the season. Precious is okay, but you got to get to this quarterback. And I don't put a whole lot of what happened today with the New England Patriots. I don't put a whole lot into that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put a whole lot into that, man. I'm not. And Zero real close right now because I want my son. My son is tuning in. He's looking at it on YouTube upstairs. I want him to look at this. What I'm saying. Stringler, whatever his name is, Derek Stringer Jr. He got his ass handed to him today. He got beat by a perfectly thrown pass. He got beat.
Derek Stingley.
Yes. Not high on him. I haven't been. I'm still a South Gardner guy. But again, when you start giving these guys their flowers and things, and when they deserve it, I'm the one to give them to them as well. But it's how you get these plays, how you get these numbers, how you get these stats that I'll be more concerned about. But as a whole, I don't put a lot into this win that the Texans had today against New England Patriots. I didn't. Offense looked better. Again, Nixon was back there. The real test for the Houston Texans would be going into Green Bay next week. My big thing today was getting these guys out this game with no injuries, man. And so far so well with us on that. I'm looking forward to the game next week against Green Bay Packers, man.
All right. Well, we're gonna get to your Texans in a minute. I want to put a ball on this Colts Titans game real quick.
Yeah.
I gotta talk a little bit about the Colts too.
Yes.
I gotta talk a little bit about the Colts.
Let's talk about it.
They come out with the win, but they should not be happy with their head coach either. Because Shane Steichen, he made a lot of mistakes today as well. And even for the Titans to still be in that ball game with an opportunity 2 or 3 times to get the ball in the fourth quarter with an opportunity to win that ball game, I don't expect the Colts to be a playoff team. Now, the sad part about it is that with the state of the AFC right now, there's really only probably 3 good teams when you look at Kansas City, Houston, and the Baltimore Ravens. And then everything else is kind of up for grabs in the AFC. But I want to know, from my guys in the chat, what do you guys think the solution is for the Titans? Do we go for the number 1 pick? Because there's a lot of bad teams. You got the Jaguars, you got the Titans, you got the Patriots, you got the Carolina Panthers. There's another team in the AFC I'm missing that's really, really bad. Cleveland. Cleveland Browns, Floyd. Cleveland Browns that you predicted to win the AFC North. So you got those 5 teams that's going to be battling for the number 1 spot in the NFL. So, I think this season is over for the Titans. I see 2-15, 3-14 at the best. I think maybe they split with Jacksonville. Maybe they beat New England. I don't see anybody else on the schedule that they can beat.
All those teams that you named that's not going to fare well by the end of the season. A few of them already have their quote unquote franchise quarterback. So I don't think the Titans can have to go into tank mode, so to speak. But if a quarterback if a quarterback is what they're looking for in the first round, I think wherever they pick it, he will be there. I don't believe that the Titans are going to be as bad as the Patriots or the Jaguars for that matter. I just think their defense is a little better than the record is showing as a whole, as a team. I don't have a problem with Shane. Actually, I want to give him flowers because he has yet to open up the playbook that I know he has because of his lack of performance from the quarterback position with Anthony Richardson being inaccurate and injured, and then him being able to work with Gardner Minshew last year and had them in the thick of things, and now he has 41, 42-year-old Joe Flacco, and he's squeezing out games and he's squeezing out wins. Sure, he probably made some bad situational calls, but I'm always give him his props because I've seen what he's done as a coordinator with quarterbacks. And again, if he can get a win out of 42-year-old Joe Flacco, man, I'm not gonna beat him up on some some situational calling that probably didn't suit the team at that time. But I'm not gonna rain on him. Good victory for him, man. Again, he's another coach who doesn't have that guy at quarterback. I just want to know how long are they gonna deal with the Anthony Richardson problem, big bro. I wonder how long are they gonna stick in there with him? Maybe he wound up as a Justin Fields situation.
I think you're right. I think there's clearly 3 guys in that ball game today that I don't think will be getting 5th-year extensions.
Yeah.
That'll be Traylon Burks. That'll
True.
be Will Levis.
True.
That'll be Anthony Richardson.
I'm with you on that. I'm absolutely with you on that. And again, unless he come back and catch a fire and all of a sudden become an accurate passer. So it's interesting to see where they move forward in the quarterback position as well, man. But again, I'm not gonna rain on Shane Parade, man. He pulled out a victory with Joe Flacco, man. So I don't know who they got next week, but I don't see them as a playoff team neither. I do see them as a pretty good coached team. But again, they're missing talent and they're missing production from the main position on the field. And that's the quarterback position.
Here's another question. Not to post thought on the wound. Now, I said before the season that I thought Derrick Henry would lead the league in rushing and that he could quite possibly run for 2,000 yards with the Baltimore Ravens. A lot of people laughed.
I was one.
I know. I know.
I was one. I'm not ready to eat that yet. Well, it's sure getting close though. It's getting close. I'm not ready to eat that yet. But let's give King Henry his props, man. He having those big runs, man. Those pop and what you expect from a back at his age right now, and he's still in remarkable shape. You looking for that hit. Give me that 70-yard run, a 60-yard run, a 40-yard run. And then now you can pick him away now. And that's what the let's give the offense coordinator for Baltimore Ravens some credit too, bro. They running the game. They finally found something to accommodate Lamar Jackson instead of bringing in all these old washed up trash ass wide receiver. Go down there to Tennessee and get King Henry, and we'll see you come playoff time. So
right now in 6 games, he's got 704 yards and 8 touchdowns, averaging 6 yards a carry. So right now, let me do some quick math. That Forrest Brook math.
Go ahead on then.
That's 117 yards a game. So if you do that times 17 games, that's 1,995 yards. So he's on a pace for 2,000 right now. Now, I don't know if that pace is going to last. It's a long season. They may be in a position where they may try to rest him, at some point later in the year, depending on where they are in reference to their division. But right now, King Henry is on pace for a 2,000-yard season, which is absolutely mind-boggling to some, but not to your boy, because I thought he still had a lot in the tank.
He got a good chance, man. He got the best running back in NFL playing quarterback for him, so he has a damn good chance of getting that 2,000, man. He got a damn good chance, man. Because I watched a few Baltimore Ravens games, man. And Derrick don't start out well. He don't, he's not a consistent just pounding them and pounding them and pounding. There are moments when you look up and he got 12 carries, man, for 40 yards, and then bam, you look up, man, and he got 90 yards now because he'll get that big run because he got the best running back in the game playing quarterback for him. So, right. Hey, man, it's highly possible, Ken. It's highly possible. I'm not gonna. I would not bet on that though.
Right, right. It's still
I wouldn't bet on that, but man, look here. It's highly possible, and man, it would be good for the league. To me, it'll be good for the league, man. It'll be good for the league, man.
Yeah, and I hope he gets some MVP love. I know some Titans fans hate hearing it. There's always a lot in the chat. we talk about Derek too much, but hell, ain't nothing else to talk about in Tennessee. So we still got to talk about Derek, unfortunately. Let's go around this NFL, man. Look at some of these games today. The Cowboys, they got blown out by Detroit today. What, 47-9 again? Is there any hope for the Cowboys in the NFC? The Eagles won today. They back on their grind. Commanders lost to the Ravens today. The Giants playing right now. Dallas Cowboys, man, talk to me.
What did I tell you yesterday? You said all you want them to do is win. I said, I don't want them to just win. I want them to beat the brakes off of them.
You did.
For costing me that money last week.
You
and
did.
damn it, they got the brakes beat off of them. But there's some sad news with Aiden Hudson going down.
Man.
You know? And to me that changes. Joe Burrow is really trash, man. He holds the ball too long, man. And that's really, and it changes my prediction of Detroit as far as Super Bowl. I think they're still going to be good. Now they're back in that mode again of outscoring opponents right now. With Hudson on that defense, they had action at stopping defense. Now that's a big blow to them, man. A huge blow. We were just talking about that on the play that he got injured. On how much are you going to put these guys out there? They were talking about was what's the quarterback? Jared Goff going to go back out. Yeah, was Goff going to go back out the next series? And I'd be doggone, man. Aiden Hudson got hurt after those statements, man. So I hate to see that for the Detroit Lions, Aiden Hudson, man. But again, shout out to the Lions. They went into Arlington, Dallas, Texas, whatever you want to call it, and beat the brakes off of them. The Cowboys, they will not make the playoffs. Again, when they run up against a formidable offensive team like the Detroit Lions, they will show you how weak the defense is for the Dallas Cowboys, and they got exposed today. There's nothing more to say. Jerry Jones got exactly what he asked for today by thinking Mike McCarthy after that 1 year wonder season. You held on to him a couple more seasons, looking for different results, looking for something different, but you're getting the same results. And so now you're stuck with that. You don't have a running game. You don't have a defense. You know, you need a wide receiver. You're not getting production from your tight end. You're not good. The Dallas Cowboys are not good. They're trash. They're garbage. They're in their last 3 home games at Texas. I still call Texas State. They've gotten the brakes beat out of them. They've lost. So this team is in disarray. And it's all on him. This all fall on the owner of the Dallas Cowboys. You're gonna fire Mike McCarthy. You're not gonna fire him. You're not gonna bring him back for next season. And now you're back at the beginning again when you should have did it this season, really 2 seasons ago. So he got what he deserved. You know. So I don't have any empathy for the Dallas Cowboys fans right now. Wallow in your misery, because we did it for 3 years here in H-Town. We wallow in our misery, and we did it properly. So for the Titan fans, the Cowboy fans, the Saints fans, the Steelers fans, all that zoom in on us when we are on air, I have no empathy for you. None. They got what they deserve today, and that's an ass whooping.
Chicago Bears went to London. Caleb Williams won his 4th game of the year. They go to 4-2. Caleb Williams had 4 touchdowns today. Jacksonville Jaguars, who I think would be the worst team in the NFL. They're proving me right so far. They fall to 1-5, I believe, on the season. I think it's somebody you wanted to put in the danger zone for the last couple of weeks.
It's so many, I done forgot, big bro. It'll come to me as we keep going.
Jacksonville Jaguars, Doug Peterson.
Well, I'm so tired of putting him in the danger zone because he's been in the danger zone before the season even started. I put him in the danger zone. I thought he would have been the first coach. I thought that Dennis Allen would be the first head coach fired. He's gonna get fired. And then I thought the next one would have been Doug Peterson. So he'll win. He'll win next week. He'll win next week. They'll buy more time. I don't believe they're gonna fire during the season. I don't believe they'll do that unless they just really is terrible. Hey man, the Bears look like a Super Bowl contender team this morning in London against the Jacksonville Jaguars. They look like a Super Bowl contender. That's how poorly coached the Jaguars are. They are a poorly coached team, man. There are talent on that team. There are overpaid talent on that team. Gabe Davis is one, overpaid. Why would you give him money like that? When he's like
your Cleveland Browns, who you predicted to win the AFC North, they lose again today, this time to the Philadelphia Eagles, although they did give the Eagles a tough game. Philly coming off the bye, they win at 20-17. Deshaun Watson sacked 5 more times today, 16 of 2,368 yards. Didn't throw an interception. That was good. My boy Deontay Foreman, he carried the ball 10 times today for 31 yards. The Browns fall to 1-5 on the season. Philadelphia Eagles improved to 3-2. Jalen Hurts, 16 of 25, 264. He did have 2 touchdowns. No interceptions for Jalen. Congratulations, Jalen Hurts. No turnovers today. Good job. Thoughts?
I'm not going to be as cynical about Jalen Hurts as you are. I don't know why you feeling like that you had to really applaud him not having a turnover, even though he was on a turnover bench. I truly believe that, but I don't believe in kicking a man when he's down. I've given up on Deshaun Watson. I gave him up. Matter of fact, I'm putting myself in the danger zone. I'm in the danger zone tonight myself.
You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone.
Because I rode with Deshaun Watson for far too damn long. Me and you talked off the air. I said, man, it's not even about them winning, just going out there showing that he can still play football, man. And we did. I mean, just from the highlights and the numbers themselves speak for a lot, man. He had some drops, of course, man. He had the second string running back went down, and all this here defense still playing pretty good enough to keep you in the game. You can get any type of offensive play from your quarterback position. But I officially have buried the Cleveland Browns. They're out of there. I just don't know which way they're going to go. I don't think they want to eat $137 million. I don't think they want to eat that. It'll be a shameful act if they were to fire Kevin Stefanski, man, because that's definitely, he does not deserve to be fired from this coaching job. This is all on the front office and them, and they put everything into Deshaun Watson. Yeah, but the Cleveland Browns are dead for this season. My thing is where they start doing a dumpster fire, where you unload Amari Cooper, where you do what Shinoki the tight end. What are you going to do now? You finally have draft picks in the upcoming draft, but again, you're tied with Deshaun Watson, and you're not getting a play from him, and you just signed Jerry Jeudy. You gave him a new contract, whereas he has disappeared. So this team right now, man, is I got to put it all on the quarterback position. Why the Cleveland Browns are the way they are, it's solely on the quarterback play. And Deshaun Watson, you're going to have to take this all the way to the bank like you've been doing, bro. This season is on you. And that's all, man. I don't even want to talk about the Cleveland Browns anymore, man.
Well, let's look at the playoff. If the playoff ended today, kind of how teams stack up. We'll start in the NFC. Right now, Minnesota holding the number 1 spot. They're undefeated, 5-0, off this week. Atlanta, they beat Carolina today, so they go to 4-2. They're in first place in the NFC North. The Washington Commanders, the surprise of the NFC right now, 4-2. They're number 1 in the NFC East. Of course, you never see a repeat champion out of the NFC East, so I think the Commanders are probably actually going to win that division. San Francisco, 3-3, leading the AFC West, and then your wild card teams right now are Detroit and Chicago out of the NFC North, 4-1 and 4-2 respectively.
And Green Bay.
And Tampa Bay is the third wild card out of the NFC South. They're at 4-2 right now. Green Bay's tied at 4-2, but if the season ended today, Tampa Bay would have the tiebreaker over Green Bay. So of those 7 teams, do you think that stays status quo throughout the rest of the season? Or do you think somebody else jumps in? You got Green Bay, Philly, Dallas, Seattle's falling off. They've lost 3 in a row. The Saints have lost 4 in a row. You got the Cowboys in there at 3-3. So you think Green Bay or Philly overtakes Chicago or Tampa?
Maybe Tampa, but I don't think they'll overtake the Bears just because of the strength of the Bears schedule. I don't think the Bears schedule, you look at it, I think they have the least formidable schedule down the stretch. Remember when we was picking these early seasons up there, and I already had said that Green Bay nor the Dallas Cowboys was going to make the playoffs. That's what I said. Now, and I put the Rams, and I put Seattle. I think I said the Bears. It might have been the Rams, though. I might have said it, but the Rams made the playoffs last year, though. So it was one of them that I picked, and that's because I saw the acquisitions a lot of acquisitions that the Bears picked up. But what I didn't anticipate was the strength of schedule, that they wasn't going to have a very tough schedule, so they had an opportunity to win some games throughout the course of the season. I think that the Washington Commanders is going to hold up, and I think the Chicago Bears are going to hold up. I'm kind of with you now with Seattle. I threw the towel in on Seattle. Of course, Dallas. I've been through the towel in on Dallas. Maybe the other team that may be able to fool me again would be Tampa Bay. But again, I don't have a problem picking Chicago and Washington to make the playoffs this season. Just from the way that they're playing right now, I wouldn't argue with you with that at all.
Yeah, I think Philly might get back in there. I don't know. Green Bay. I don't think Chicago's going to hold on to a playoff spot. I haven't looked at their schedule, but I just don't think that they're going to hold on to a playoff spot.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the AFC, so you got the Chiefs 5-0, Texans 5-1, Ravens 4-2, Bills 3-2. They play tomorrow night. And then right now, your wild card teams are Pittsburgh at 4-2, the Chargers at 3-2, and the Colts at 3-3. That's why that game today was so big. You also have Denver at 3-3 as well, and then you got a lot of teams at 2-3. You have 5 teams in the AFC with 1 win. And the AFC was supposed to be the stronger conference out of the 2. But that has flipped so far during the first quarter of the season. I don't know if I've ever seen conference with 5 teams that's only won 1 game. That's wild.
I mean, to me, represent. It depends on how those losses was first. Where they lost, are they conference losses, or interconference losses, however they may be for the AFC. I still think the AFC is a better conference. I still think that, and not because the Texans are in there. I just think that it's a better conference. Outside of Detroit, in the NFC, I mean, and you can put Minnesota in there, but still Minnesota gonna have to show me some more. Gonna show some more. What they've shown so far has been great. You know, they're gonna show a little bit more. But you can put them in there outside of Minnesota, Detroit offensively. No one has really shown you that they're hitting that stride. Even the 49ers, to me, have not hit that stride again. They haven't had C-Mac on the field at all. And but I still think the AFC is still the tougher conference though. Even though they have a lot of teams that's one-win teams in the conference.
Yeah, I think you're gonna end up with a really bad team making the playoffs. You may end up with two bad teams making the playoffs out of air. I think the AFC is bad. It's just really, really bad right now. I mean, it was supposed to be good, but it's not. Cincinnati's not good. Cleveland's not good. Titans, New England, Jacksonville, most people expected those three teams to be bad. Miami was supposed to be good. Obviously, they don't have Tua, so that hurts them. The Jets are going through all kinds of turmoil. They fired their coach. Aaron Rodgers. You want to talk about it?
You talking about Lil LeBron? That's what I call him, Lil LeBron. Coach killer. That's what I call them. They coach killers.
I thought you had him going in the zone.
Aaron Rodgers is in the zone. Thank you, brother. He's in the zone. He's in the zone.
You're in the danger zone. You're in the danger zone.
And as if he had nothing to do with Robert Saleh getting fired. But here's the deal with them. There was a pact made. You want Saleh gone? We'll get him out of here. But Hackett can't call plays no more. It had to be a little bit, I scratch your back, you scratch my back thing. He couldn't have had it both ways. You couldn't get rid of coach and keep him as a coordinator. That wasn't going to happen. It couldn't happen. He had already made the decision. He was changing coordinator. He was changing play callers anyway without letting anybody know. He was changing play callers.
Right.
And I think Aaron got word of that. And he politicked. Just from listening to different commentators and analysts since the firing, man, it was clearly, man, he had not lost his locker room. He had lost Aaron Rodgers. That's who he had lost. He didn't lose his locker room, bro. He lost Aaron Rodgers. And they done mortgaged the team and did everything that they could possibly do, man, to get a franchise quarterback in, because they were supposed to be a quarterback away from being a contender, playoff contender at least. So you can't run Aaron out. He has you handcuffed. The same thing that the Green Bay Packers was not going to let him do to them was handcuff them. So they decided to get rid of him. And fortunately, they had someone in play that was ready to step in and resume the role, and the rest is history. But Aaron Rodgers, this is all on you. Now, because Buffalo is so injured right now, they'll beat Buffalo tomorrow night. And they all drank that Kool-Aid, but it's going to be a tough ride for them because the AFC East is not as strong that some may have predicted it to be, with Tua getting hurt and Buffalo now coming back down to earth.
Right.
You know, so the Jets win tomorrow and they're in first place in the AFC East. They win tomorrow. Yeah. And I'm picking them to win tomorrow. But it's going to be a long way. The play calling is going to be very essential in how this works out with Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets, man. This play calling thing is really something serious with this team at this moment as we speak. But as far as moving forward,
that division, man, they may backdoor themselves into a division title. Because that division is so weak now. New England's not a threat. Buffalo, they got a lot of injuries and they kind of rebuilding anyway to begin with. Miami was supposed to win the division, and you don't know when Tua's coming back or if he's coming back this year or not. So the Jets may actually backdoor their way into winning the division, and then Aaron Rodgers to get all the credit and this, that, and the third. But I'm with you. I'm not saying Robert Saleh was a great coach.
No.
But he definitely did not deserve to be fired at this juncture of the season. That was crazy. That was crazy. I think we touched about it all, my brother. Anything else?
What we didn't touch was the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
And the Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, Fazaa that's going to be occurring here in the next week or two. Just from what I've seen, read, and I've been hearing a lot, I don't believe, unless Justin Fields fall completely on his face or get hurt, I don't believe that Russell Wilson would touch a field this season. Not in a starting role for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'd like to see what your feedback is on that and where you standing with the Pittsburgh Steelers right now.
Well, the Steelers right now, they're 4-2. Let me see how Justin played today. They blew out the Raiders. The Raiders are garbage. Nothing great. 14 of 24, 145 yards. Got sacked 3 times. Ran 11 times for 59 yards. Nothing great. He did run for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He's played well enough. Right? He hasn't been great. That team is led by their defense. As long as TJ Watt is healthy, they're going to be in every game because he's going to cause havoc for the other team's offense. And they've been the beneficiary of a relatively weak schedule so far this season. Right now in their division, they tied for first place with the Ravens. Cincinnati and Cleveland are pretty much out of it, especially if Cincinnati find a way to lose this game tonight, they're going to be done. As far as Russ, I think you could see Russ starting. Today was very important for Justin because if they would have lost that game today, I think Russ probably would have been the starting quarterback next week.
Without a doubt, I believe that too.
Now, I think they'll probably ride with Justin until he starts to turn the ball over or they start to lose games. But as long as he's just managing the game and they're winning games, I think they'll stick with Justin Fields. But I do think at some point, Russ will get an opportunity. I'm going to just pull up the Steelers schedule, see what it looks like coming up. They got the Jets next week. So that should be fun. Actually, they got the Jets and the Giants back-to-back in Pittsburgh. Then they have the bye week. Now, coming out of the bye is where it gets really, really hard for Pittsburgh. You got the Commanders. You got the Ravens. You got the Browns. You got the Bengals, the Browns again, the Eagles, the Ravens, the Chiefs. So the back end of their schedule after the bye week, outside of Cleveland, all their games are difficult. And the Cleveland games are going to be difficult just because those are division games. So it's really going to be interesting. I think Justin will probably play these next 2 games. Both of those games are at home. They're both primetime games against the Jets and the Giants, Sunday Night Football and then Monday Night Football. So I think Justin will get the next 2 starts. They'll see how it looks going into the bye. And then I think Mike Tomlin will make his decision coming out of the bye. But I don't think you'll see Russ before the bye week.
I'm okay with that. I can ride with that. I kind of feel the same way you do, bro, that, winning, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So right now he's winning games and he's not turning the ball over. And just from Arthur Smith quote over the last few days, his quote,
wow.
Yeah, so it's very obvious that Russ, to me, won't touch field unless Justin Fields just fall flat on his face or injury, and God forsake that. So I don't think that he will suit up. If it is, it'll be some mop up duties. I don't even know if they'll put him out there for mop up duties because that would start a scenario right there. So I don't think that Russell Wilson will set foot on the field as a starter this season for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because he's not likable. I've never seen a quarterback that nobody likes like that. I mean, he kind of fooled me too, bro. I heard some things in the early part of his career with Seattle with the Legion of Boom and all that stuff there, and I kind of understand a little bit that was being said and going on. But for this to be his narrative for the last 2 or 3 years of his career, not being a very likable teammate, man, it's kind of like, like, wow, how did we overlook this, and maybe we didn't overlook it, maybe we just didn't want to see it was right there in front of us, though. So let's see which way the Steelers roll in the next few weeks, like you said, and but I don't think Russ gonna see the field as a starter this season, right?
I got you. But we'll see. I'm not going to say the whole season because it's a long season.
Yeah.
But I will say, definitely the next 2 weeks. I think that I think it'll be all about. I think it'll all be about Justin Fields for the next 2 weeks. So we're gonna get ready to get out of here. Got to give a shout out to my Texas Longhorns, #1 in the nation. Knocked down the Oklahoma City this week. I don't know if you hear that great song in the background.
Yeah, I hear it, man. I hear it, man. Don't they got Georgia next week?
Got Georgia next week, baby. Got Georgia next week.
If you beat Georgia, you're looking good. I ride with you to that. Go Longhorns. See you when I see you, man.
All right, brother. We holler. Later. We out of here, y'all. We out of here. Texas Longhorns, #1 in the nation. We'll talk about it next week after they beat Georgia. We out. Thank you guys for joining the Danger Zone. See y'all next week. We out.